Daniel here for Tabletop for One and my list of solo board games you can buy on a budget. Now, I don't know about you, but I kind of spend a lot of time online looking at different games on different websites, different retail stores that are selling games online and looking for deals here and there. And a lot of these places have, free shipping when you meet a certain threshold. So a lot of the times I'm really looking into finding good deals along with meeting that threshold so I get that free shipping. And so today I've come up with quite a few different stores and a list of games that they currently have at the stores that look like a pretty good deal. Now, most of these stores are in the US, but I did pick out one for the UK and one for Canada. And we'll start off with the one from UK. It's called Kienda. Now, they have free shipping on orders 30 pounds or more. And so I looked at some of their deals and they have quite a lot of games, some good deals, some not so good deals, but I noticed that they have Tainted Grail. Now I don't own Tainted Grail yet, I did back the Kings of Ruin, but they have a damaged or a ding and dent copy of Tainted Grail for 88 pounds. I want to say that the regular pricing on that is upwards of 120 or so. So that seems like a good deal. Now, spending a lot of money on a game like that may not fit in the budget. So let's check out some of their other games that they have. And they also have Architects of the West Kingdom. Now, I do not own Architects of the West Kingdom either, but that is one of the ones that I've been looking forward to trying someday because I bounced off of Paladins of the West Kingdom, didn't enjoy that so much. But I do like the idea of Architects of the West Kingdom. I love worker placement games, and I love the art, and so I definitely want to look into getting that someday. And at 35 pounds, that seems like a good price. But they also have some other games that I've actually already played that I can tell you what I think of them. And so first off, they have Luna Capital. We'll see how many games I can pile on here because I have a lot of games to talk about. But we have Luna Capital, and Luna Capital is a tile drafting game where you're trying to set it up on your little colony on the moon, and you have adjacency bonuses and all sorts of things going on there. It's akin to other tile drafting games, but it has some fun art. Now there is a little bit of a learning curve, just slightly, because all the different types of buildings that come with it, you have to memorize the icons and what they do. It doesn't take long though. It really doesn't. It took me like the second game, I was knowing most of what those icons were. Now Luna Capital on the Kienda website is only 21 pounds. And in the equivalent US dollars is about what I paid for this, and I've enjoyed this every single play. I plan on doing a playthrough. That's one of the reasons why I have it out, is I plan on making a playthrough tutorial for you. But I highly recommend this game. It's made by Devere, which also made Red Cathedral and some other great solo games. So this is definitely one that I recommend. Now, another one they have on the website and clocking in at 17 pounds is one that recently released that not a lot of people have purchased or played yet, and that is Scoventeer. Scoventeer is a fantastic game. I've played it several times already, and again, this is one of those games that I plan on making a tutorial solo playthrough for. But this is a great game. It's got some really interesting lore and myth behind it, and it's a fantastic kind of hand management, deck management kind of game as you're trying to, you're this little, I think it's a badger. I forget exactly what it is. But you're trying to, it's a badger. You're trying to stay ahead of this wizard, and this wizard's trying to catch up with you in this little rondel that you go around. And for $17, the art, the production quality, everything is great about this game. It's a small box game. It doesn't take too long to play. You're talking 20 or 30 minutes, but it's definitely worth it. And then last but not least, they have Doppelt So Clever, or Twice as Clever. It's a roll and write game where it's one of those combo-tastic roll and write games. You roll the dice, you choose one of the numbers, you write the number in a box, and sometimes it lets you write another number in another box, and another here, another there. And it's got this really clever scoring system where you have to go for these wolf icons, and if you don't, you can't score that high. But if you do it well, you can score in like 300. Now my highest score I think is like 235, but Doppelt So Clever is a great game, and I highly recommend it. And that's only 12 pounds on their website. So there are some good options there on Kienda to choose from and meet that free shipping threshold. All right, we're moving on to a Canadian store. Now they ship to US, but this is Board Game Bliss. And now their shipping is 175 Canadian or 225 for US shipping. And so it's quite the high threshold. But oftentimes you can find some pretty good deals on this website. I've actually ordered from them before and had them shipped to the US. And so the first two games I want to talk about, I don't actually own and I really want them. They look great. I've heard a lot of good things about them. And the first one is Dungeons Degenerates, and that's clocking in at $65. Now, Dungeons Degenerates has this funky art style, kind of a psychedelic art style, and it's an open world, I think, kind of dungeon crawler. And it looks fantastic. I've heard nothing but good things about it. Now, personally, I think I'll have a little bit of trouble reading the board state with the colors the way they are, but it doesn't turn me away from wanting to try it out. And at $65, that seems like a great price. Because I've seen it at one of my local stores for $90 or $99, I think it was. So $65 there at Board Game Bliss, but they also have another game that I've really wanted to play, and I love train games, and that is Ultimate Railroads, and I hear this game is fantastic. It's a worker placement train game, and normally I've seen it upwards of almost $100, but on Board Game Bliss, as of last night, is $57. $57. It sounds like a great price because of the amount of content you get in the game. So those two I would definitely want. Now there's some other games there that I already have that maybe you might be interested in. And so one of those games is going to be Dinosaur Island Roar and Write. This is one of the best roll and write games that I've ever played. I love this game. It's a fantastic dice drafting game, and you mark the spots on your map, and you try and build kiosks and restaurants and attractions and cage animals and all sorts of things that you're doing for this dinosaur, kind of like a Jurassic Park. And you're trying to mitigate, people getting eaten and that sort of thing. It's a lot of fun. And on Board Game Bliss, it's only 20 bucks. 20 bucks is not a bad price at all. And so I highly recommend picking this one up. I've definitely got more than $20 out of my copy, and I think I spent $24 on my copy. And now the next game on the list coming in at $32. This is a steal. Now I know it's not that much difference than the original price, but I'm telling you there's so much game in this game, and it's one of the best games. It's the only game that I've rated as the perfect solo experience, and that is Bullet Star. Oh, I know. You've heard me talk about Bullet before, but Bullet Star is one of the best games in my collection. It is my number 3 favorite game of all time, and I love this game. There's so much to do in this game. Now, I highly recommend not using the timer and just playing the boss battle. That's all you need to play. And the boss battles are great, they're challenging, they're puzzly, and there's so much variation in the game as all 8 heroines can also be bosses. So there's just this huge amount of replayability. And so at $32, I have gotten probably upwards of 60, 70 plays out of Bullet Star and Bullet Heart at this point. I've got my money's worth, and it's going to stay in my collection forever. This game is fantastic. There's nothing bad I can say about this game. There really isn't. I love this game. And so I highly recommend this one. Coming in at $32 on Board Game Bliss, that is quite the deal. All right, and then one thing you may not know about me is I love abstract games. I don't have a lot of abstract games. I have a lot of games that are very much abstract in their theme, even though they have a theme, but the gameplay is very much abstract. And this game, when I bought it, I think it was last year in like December or something like that. Got this game on sale, maybe like 24 bucks or something like that. Oh, I love this game. I played a ton. This is Garinto. Garinto is this fantastic game where you are competing against an AI, this really easy to use, smooth AI that's very competitive, very challenging to beat. And what you're doing is you're moving these tiles onto a board, stacking these tiles, and when you move them, they activate, and you're able to collect tiles from other areas depending on which tile you activate. The more you collect of each type of element, the more powerful your actions are. And so it's this cascading, abstract set collection kind of game. It's fantastic. I can't recommend it enough. That's Garinto. Now, Board Game Bliss is coming in at $30, and the production quality alone is worth that price. And the fact that it's a great game as well is great. So I highly recommend it. And there's one other game I want to mention that I don't own that I'm definitely interested in because I've seen some good things said about it, is they have Hamburg. Hamburg is a Euro style game, and they have that for $53. I think it was much higher when it originally came out. I want to say it was almost $100. And so at $53, that seems like a steal for that game, and I definitely would love to try that out. Now, right now I can't buy any games. I can't afford it to right now, but I tell you what, if I could, I'd definitely pick up Hamburg, Ultimate Railroads, easily. Those would be my top two picks from there. But of course, if I didn't own Bullet Star, that would be on there as well. All right, so now we're moving on to the US stores, some of the US stores that I frequent. And one that you're gonna know right off the bat because most people know this store, it's Miniature Market. Now their free shipping is at $99 or more, and so it's fairly easy to reach that goal. But right now, Miniature Market has some great deals. And so if you were shopping there trying to reach your free shipping, I would suggest some of these games. First, we have Trailblazers. Trailblazers came out not too long ago. It was a Kickstarter that fulfilled. They have the little pocket edition for only $19. That seems like a great deal for what it is. It's high quality components, those little zipper pouch I think it is, and it looks great. I haven't played it, I don't own it, but that is definitely one that's been on my radar and it looks fantastic. And I know some of my friends online have been playing it and love it. Now, Miniature Market also has Scoventeer in stock. So if you're looking for Scoventeer, it's $18 there right now. Again, a fantastic deal for a fantastic game. I highly recommend this game. Now, the rest of the games I'm going to mention, I already own, and so I have a lot of good things to say about them. And the first one is One Deck Galaxy. Now, One Deck Galaxy, when it came out, it was not good. Let's put it lightly. The rulebook was not good. It was not laid out in a way that was very intuitive or helpful, and it was very challenging for people to get this to the table. Now, One Deck Galaxy was one of the first tutorial solo playthrough videos I did, and it was challenging to get through that rulebook. But I had to tell you what, if you can get through that rulebook, if you can understand the rules, then this game is fantastic. It's a step above One Deck Dungeon in complexity. So if you like One Deck Dungeon, you'll love One Deck Galaxy. There's so much more to do with this game. It's so much more challenging, and the dice and the mitigation is actually even better. And so even if you don't like the luck in One Deck Dungeon, you might like it in One Deck Galaxy because there's a lot more things you can do with the dice. Now, I do want to note that they do have an updated rulebook on the website, but I haven't looked at it yet to see if it's any better. I think that's a fantastic deal because of the amount of time that I've gotten out of playing that game. I've definitely got my money's worth. All right, and the next one is one of my favorite Stonemaier games. Coming in at $24 on Miniature Market, we have Red Rising. And so Red Rising is a hand management game that's based off of the Red Rising books. Now, I didn't read the books ahead of time of getting Red Rising, but because of this game, I read the books, and I love the books. They're fantastic. Now, in Red Rising, you are trying to pair up certain cards with others to score different points, and you're faced off against an AI that's extremely streamlined, like normal Stonemaier games. The AI works really well. It's easy to implement. It actually feels like multiple AI because of how many cards they take off the board. So it feels like you're playing against multiple players, even though you'll only have one score that you're competing against at the end. But yeah, Red Rising, fantastic game. $24 is a steal. All right, once again, I'm gonna mention Bullet Star. I won't go into it again, but $32 in Miniature Market, another great deal. And so the next one is a game that I actually did a tutorial solo playthrough for. It's Power Plants. I backed this game, and I have the deluxe edition. And Miniature Market has the deluxe edition, which is way cheaper than what I paid for it, for $35. It comes with the deluxe wooden tiles. The wooden tiles are fantastic. This game is an abstract strategy game that has a ton of replayability. It has a fairly easy to run AI. The only problem is you have to kind of memorize its priorities and how it uses the tiles, because it uses the tiles slightly differently than you do. But this game is fantastic. It plays in 20 to 30 minutes. It has fantastic production value. I love this game. I think I rated it an 8 out of 10, something like that. The only thing about the solo mode of the game is there are 2 sets of tiles that you'll never use for solo mode because they only apply in multiplayer. And that's really unfortunate. It's, to have some components that you're not going to use. But yeah, power plants, I highly recommend it if you like abstract strategy games, area control type games. This one is great. It's easy to run, tons of fun, and the art is great as well. All right, the next one, if you're a solo gaming veteran, this is nothing new to you. It hit the solo gaming world by storm, and it's been a favorite among many. And it takes the roll and write genre and adds a little more depth to it, and that's Hadrian's Wall. It's a flip and write game, and it has that combo-tastic nature where you cross off a box that lets you gain a resource, you use that resource to cross another box off, and so on and so on. And then the game actually has a print and play solo campaign that you can use, so you can play the game and have some good amount of replayability. Now, the price on this is not a deal. I'm going to tell you how to make this a deal. The price is $42. Okay, that's okay. I think the original price is $60. But the best way to make a deal out of this game is if you have other friends or even other people who don't solo game, split this game up. See, what you can do with this game is you have enough components for 6 players. Now, as a solo gamer, you're not going to need 5 of those sets for players. And there's like 100 sheets of each type of sheet or whatever. There's a huge stack of sheets. So what you can do is you can put like 2 players worth of resources and the components and the cards, and give them a small stack of the papers, and give that to one of your friends, or just ask them, hey, do you want to go in this together? We'll buy it together. We'll spend $14 each between 3 couples or 3 sets of friends, and you can split it 3 ways. That'll be a great deal for you. Now, it may seem kind of weird breaking up a game that way, but this is one of those games where, at $14 a piece, splitting it up, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Now, you could buy it at $42, and I think that's what I spent on it when I bought it. But I'm just offering that as an option. Split it with your friends. It'll be inexpensive for all of you, and you guys will still enjoy it. And you can still enjoy it as a 2-player experience, which I think is the best way to play it if you're going to play multiplayer. And so, yeah, that's just, just one of those ideas that you can use. And I know several people that have already done that. So it's not an uncommon thing at this point. All right, the last one I want to mention, I didn't bring out the box because I need the table space. This box is a little bit larger than the others, but the last one I want to mention is Endless Winter. Endless Winter is by Stan Kordonski. He's a favorite designer of mine, and he made this game where you got everything. You got deck building, worker placement, resource management, area control. You got all sorts of things that are going on in this game, set collection, everything. It's a fantastic solo experience if you have the extra variant. There's an extra variant for the solo experience that makes things a little bit more challenging with the AI. Because right now the out-of-the-box AI is very easy to win against. And with the new variant, it's definitely more challenging. So you definitely want to print that out or just have it on your phone. It's a small, like 4x6 page of information on how to do that solo variant. So it's really easy to access. And so I highly recommend it. Now the price for that game is $48. $48. Oh my goodness. It's fantastic. At $48, that is a steal. The production quality is amazing. The art, everything about it. And yeah, it's a fantastic game. All right, so there was a lot of games that you can get at Miniature Market right now to try and get that $99 free shipping. But let's move on to one of my other favorite stores to shop online, and that's Game Nerdz. Now, I know a lot of you know about Game Nerdz, especially Nerdz Day, where they have big sales. But currently on Game Nerdz, there's some good deals. Now, the free shipping for Game Nerdz is at $75, so it's very easy to reach. And so on my list of deals here are 2 games that I have not played yet. I ordered one of them, but one of the games I have not played yet is Maquis. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's Maquis. And I've heard nothing but fantastic reviews about that game. I really need to add it to my collection. I haven't ordered it yet, but I really need to add that to my collection. I hear it's a great solo game, so I highly recommend it at $24. It seems like a great deal for what you get. The other game is Dorfromantik. And Dorfromantik is a tile laying game, and I happen to just love tile laying games. I've been buying a lot of them lately. And so Dorf Romantic, I did order this one at $28. That is a fantastic deal. And what it has in the game is has unlockable boxes or envelopes that give you new tiles and new rules and that sort of thing. Because you have this achievement sheet that you've got to accomplish, and then you're able to unlock these new things. That sounds like a fantastic solo experience, and at $28, I think I will get more than my money's worth out of that, because I've seen some other people play it and they're up to like 30, 35 plays before they finish unlocking everything. Oh, I can't wait to try this game out. So I highly recommend that one. Now, one of the games they have that I bought, but I haven't played yet, is Next Station London. I plan on getting this to the table real soon. Next Station London is a flip and write kind of game, and I've heard nothing but great things about it, and it's coming in at $13. $13 for this game. This is a fantastic, production quality and everything. Everything looks great. It's got a little magnet closing lid on it and everything. $13 on Miniature Market. That seems like a great deal. So I do look forward to trying this one out. Also, there is One Deck Galaxy for $21. And then Power Plants, the regular versions, for $21. That's a fantastic deal as well. But there's one other game that they have, and this should be an essential solo game. This should be in every solo gamer's library, because it also has unlockable things. It has a campaign where you unlock new cities and new challenges, and that is Under Falling Skies. Under Falling Skies is a great game. Coming in at $21 on Miniature Market, that's a fantastic deal for everything that you get. You'd be surprised when you open this up and you say, I spent $21, only $21 on this game. It's fantastic. This is Independence Day, the board game. You have these aliens coming down from the sky, and you're trying to shoot them down. You're also trying to research a way to get rid of them and win the war against the aliens. It looks like Cthulhu Pop is going to have to hold this up here. There we go. Anyways, yeah, it's a fantastic game. It's sci-fi theme, dice rolling, dice mitigation. There's all sorts of things about this game that's great. So I highly recommend it. Should be essential in every solo gamer's library. And now we're moving on to a lesser known company. This is one that I stumbled on not too long ago, and I've really enjoyed ordering from them. They often send personalized messages in their packages. Their customer service is great. It's called Stone Valley Games. Now, Stone Valley Games often has some good deals. You just have to find them at the right time. They don't have as many sales as some of the other big businesses. This is a smaller store that has an online store. But right now they have some fantastic deals. So first off, there's a game that I don't have, and it's one of those Dungeons and Dragons games. It's The Legend of Drizzt, and it's coming in at $50. I think that's a great deal for the game. I think it's originally $60 or more, and I'm not sure about that price, but $50 seems like a great deal for that game. And another game I don't have that they have a great deal on is Thunderbolt Apache Leader. Thunderbolt Apache Leader is one of the leader games from DBG, and it's coming in at $60. Normally it costs about $95, I think. And so at $60, it seems like a great price. And Thunderbolt Apache Leader is one of those games that is just epic on every scale. I have a lot of the leader games, and leader games are great. I'll talk a little bit more about those in the next store. But for $60 for a Thunderbolt Apache Leader, it sounds like a great deal. I kind of wish I could afford it right now, because I'd probably pick that one up. And so one of the best deals I saw there, this is such a great deal, coming in at $64 on a game that normally costs a lot more. That is Obsession. Now, if you haven't played Obsession, this is one of those games that you have to play. I absolutely love this game. This is one of the most unique games that I've ever played. We actually talked about this on a live chat not too long ago with a group on Facebook, and we were talking about how we couldn't figure out exactly what Obsession is. It's action selection, but it's not. It's worker placement, but it's not. It's tableau building, but it's not. It's this own design, this own unique design, and so it has like a Downton Abbey kind of theme. And so it's just, the production quality is amazing. It's $64. This is a 10 out of 10 game for me. And the solo mode is very easy to run. And you're really just facing off against an AI who challenges you for the different goals and that sort of thing. And it's a great game. I highly recommend it. At $64, it's a steal. I can't believe it's $64. So $64 on Stone Valley Games. That's a really great deal. Now, while you're shopping there and trying to reach that $100 free shipping goal, you may want to pick up a, Obsession and then maybe a couple of roll and writes. Well, they have a couple of roll and writes for a pretty good deal. They have Three Sisters. Now, I actually haven't played Three Sisters yet. I know, right? I should have played this by now, but I've heard nothing but good things. I trust my friends when they say this is one of the best roll and writes they've played, and I've read the rulebook and it looks fantastic. And now Three Sisters is one of those combo-tastic roll and writes. It's made by the same people who did Fleet, the dice game, Motor City, and I think they did one called French Quarter recently. They made quite a few roll and writes, and so at $22, that's not a bad deal at all. But then on the other side of theme here, a little bit away from Three Sisters and Obsession, we have Zombicide Gear Up. I recently got this game, and looks like Cthulhu has to hold this one up as well. I recently got Zombicide Gear Up, and it's a fantastic roll and write. It's a really interesting game where you're using weapons to cross off different boxes on the zombies that are attacking you. Everything has a dry erase finish, so you can use dry erase markers on the cards themselves. And then as you make your way through the event deck, you're going to end up fighting against the boss. And the boss is very challenging, and it's a lot of fun. It's very light. I would say it's a very light roll and write game, but it's a lot of fun. It's just a very quick, fun, and the theme works really well here. And so that one's only $20 on Stone Valley Games. I think I spent $25 on my copy, so that seems like a great deal. All right, so up until this point, other than the occasional mention of a ding and dent copy, I have talked to you about games and their prices that are in shrink, brand new, nothing wrong with them. Here's where the deals come in. Now, I do want to say, I probably should have said this at the beginning of the video, I'm not sponsored, nor do I have any relationship with any of these companies. But I'm going to tell you that I think Noble Knight Games is one of the best places to shop for deals. Noble Knight Games, I've purchased many games from them. Now, they have a high shipping threshold, so it's $150 to get free shipping. But that's not too bad. But if I remember correctly, they also have a flat rate of $10. So even if you don't make it that high, the amount of savings that you can find on the games there will surpass the amount of the cost of shipping if you decide to pay for shipping. Now, Noble Knight Games is this huge retail space, and it has this massive collection online. But what they offer is they also offer used games. And now you might be wondering, wait a minute, I don't want to buy a used game. I want something brand new. I want it in perfect condition, or I worry that something might be missing. The thing is, they're very thorough. I've only had one issue with a shipment that they sent me. And when I pointed it out to them, I sent them pictures and said, this is, wrong. It didn't have all the components. They immediately sent me a brand new copy of that game, no charge, and told me to keep the other one that wasn't full. So they have fantastic customer service. So I highly recommend them as a company. Now, let's talk about some of the deals they have. So we've talked about Under Falling Skies. They currently have that for $20, so not a bad deal. The Legend of Drizzt game that I just mentioned is only $40 there. Luna Capital is $14. Like, that's a steal. I'm telling you right now, that's a steal for that game. $14, fantastic price. And check this out. Dinosaur Island Raw and Right, $9.50. $9.50. That's a ridiculous deal. I can't believe that price. That's amazing. One Deck Dungeon, either the original One Deck Dungeon or the Forest one, is $14 or $10. Those are great deals as well. And so let's talk about some more games that I have that are great deals on that website right now. So if you are wanting to get into war games, I highly recommend starting out with Flashpoint South China Sea. Now, this is kind of a near future setting, so it doesn't give you like the historical thematic value for it, but it's a fantastic beginning to war games, solo gaming. The bot is easy to run, it's challenging. It's definitely an entry-level game if you're new to wargaming or if you like lighter war games, but this is a fantastic game. And they have it currently priced at $30. $30 is a steal for this game. I can't recommend it enough. At $30, what a great price. And now they also have one of my all-time favorite games, and that is Marvel United. Marvel United is a fantastic game. It was my most played game last year. I've played it so many times, in the dozens, and I think upwards of 40, 50 times, maybe more. I love this game at $9 for this game. That is a steal. You have plenty of content in the base box. You might want to get more content because the game is so much fun. But for $9, that is such a great price. And then we have one of the best engine builders for solo, and that is It's a Wonderful Kingdom. I'm running out of room on my table. There's so many good games and so many good deals here. I don't know where I'm gonna put all these games. All right, so there we go. It's a Wonderful Kingdom. It's a Wonderful Kingdom, of course, is a sequel to It's a Wonderful World. Well, not a sequel. It's a different game because it's a two-player game or solo. And it has the best solo scenarios and the best challenges between the two, between World and Kingdom. Now, World is a little bit better if you have all the expansions, but at $25, that is such a fantastic deal for this game. I highly recommend it. Next up, we have a Euro train game that it was a fantastic game. I think I spent $22 when I bought it, and it currently is $22 on Noble Knight, and that is Shinkansen Zero K. Shinkansen Zero K is this fantastic Euro game. It has this great solo AI that works so well, easy to implement, easy to run. You have plenty of time to work on your game, do the bot's turn, and go right back to your turn. It's fantastic. $22. I've definitely got my plays out of it. I don't know where I'm gonna put it here. We'll just set it right here. Lots of games here. Now they also have Orchard, the 9-card solitaire game by Mark Tuck. The sequel is currently on Kickstarter called Forage, but they have Orchard for $12, so that's a great deal. You can get it right now rather than waiting for later. And then they have one of my favorite pencil first games, and that is Floriferous. Floriferous is a little set collection game, and it's a fantastic game. I am going to be making a tutorial solo playthrough of this soon because I've been making some pencil first tutorials recently. I have Herbaceous already recorded. I just need to edit it and publish it. But Floriferous is a great game. Great art, fantastic design. Love this game. It's great both in solo and multiplayer. Highly recommend it. And that's only at $18. And the next game I want to mention is one of the games by the designers of Santa Maria and Revive. And I just published a Santa Maria tutorial solo playthrough. I love that game. I have had so much fun playing that game. It's such a great combo-tastic kind of game. So is Revive. Revive is one of my favorite Euros of all time. And so they actually made this game called The Magnificent, where you are managing a circus. The Magnificent is this fantastic circus game, and it's one of the best dice drafting games I've played. It has some great components, great colors, and everything. I highly recommend this game. You can get it so cheap, and at coming in at $18 at Noble Knight, that is such a steal for this game. Now, I have never beaten this game. The goal is to get like 200 points, and I've never beaten it, but I love playing the game. I really need to bring it to the table again and try and beat that. And maybe I can even make a tutorial out of it as well. But yeah, highly recommend The Magnificent at $18. That is such a good price. All right, I'm down to my final game that I'm going to mention. I have listed so many games. There's so many games on this table. I can't even fit any more games on this table. But this is actually the first leader game that got me into the leader games by Dan Verson Games. Now, I do want to mention that I have a friendly relationship with the publisher. I want to tell you that I'm honest about my feelings about this game. Phantom Leader Deluxe. This happens to be one of the best leader games I've played. I have Stuka Leader and Zero Leader and this leader, and I highly recommend this game. Now, Phantom Leader Deluxe is currently $58 on the Noble Knight website, and $58 is a steal. It's normally around $90, $100. I highly recommend this one if you're wanting to get into the leader series. Either this one or the other one I mentioned earlier, the Thunderbolt Apache Leader. Both of those are great entry levels, but I highly recommend this one because this is the one I played. So there you go. You got a lot of good deals at Noble Knight. Now, the deals that I'm talking about, the vast majority of those are used, and they're labeled as very good or excellent condition kind of labeling. And I've ordered so many games on the very good level and have never been disappointed. So, other than that one hiccup, which they replaced without any issue, I've just loved every order that I've ordered from Noble Knight. And so, yeah, you got a lot to choose from. And so there you have it. There's a bunch of solo board games that you can buy on a budget. You have a whole bunch of different kinds of budgets you can choose from depending on where you are and how much you want to spend. And I hope you found some good games here that you might be interested in, or maybe you already own them. I would prefer you already own them because I'd like to hear about what your thoughts on them. But yeah, there's some fantastic games out there for some great prices. So I will have links in my description to the different websites, and then I will have Board Game Geek links to all the games that I've mentioned here. That's going to be a very long list. But definitely let me know in the comments below what you thought of this list. Also, if you have some good deals on some of these games, please put it in the comments below, because then maybe somebody else might find that deal and be able to buy the game for a good price. Please also like and subscribe to the channel if you like the content you see here, and I thank you very much for joining me on Tabletop for One. Have a great night.